In this lesson, we're going to be taking a look at the Edit Borders rollout. It's going to be a very quick lesson for the simple fact that you have seen all of the tools at this point. Just a few of them kind of react differently than some of the things you've seen in the past.
Exactly.
So expect this lesson to last anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half. So let's go ahead. First thing I want to do is point out the fact that a box has already been created and colored blue for us.
Wow.
I have no idea how this happened. I just opened Max back up for us to do this lesson, and Max was like, forget it, here's your box. I think it got tired of me creating one over and over, so we're saving a little bit of time here.
Very cool.
First thing I want to do is go ahead and switch over into Polygon Subobject mode. I know the focus of this is borders, but I want to come in here and create some borders first.
Right, because right now we don't have any.
You got it. And remember, borders, basically all that is geometry where we've got holes in it, and the border actually surrounds the hole itself.
Right.
So I've got these two polygons here selected. I'll go ahead and hit delete. Go ahead and switch over here to border subobject, and let me go ahead and expand that as well. I'm sure we may end up needing it. So now at this point, I can come over here and select a border. I can select another border. So we've got two borders to work with. So let's go ahead and come down here and see what's available inside the Edit Borders rollout. First, we've got Insert Vertex. Zach, what do you think that does?
Well, gee.
Well, that's pretty good. So
right.
moving on to the next tool. Well, I mean, it does exactly what you were thinking. I know I didn't give you time to get it out, but, insert vertex, it's going
Right. It's going to put a vertex in on the border edge.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just
We've already seen that, how many
click.
times now?
I don't know, but now we've seen it that many times plus one.
There you go.
There's a new vertex that we have now added. The important thing to note is I cannot come over here to an edge and do that. If you want to do that, you need to go to the Edit Edges rollout, and you will find Insert Vertex there. So let's go ahead and undo that. All right, next thing I want to take a look at. Let's see, we've got extrude and cap. Well, let's go ahead and do extrude first. What extrude will allow us to do, basically the same thing that we saw earlier when we were extruding both vertices and edges. It's going to give us a base and a height, okay? So we'll go ahead and select extrude. I'll come over here and click and drag, so there's my height. And then as I drag left and right, you can see there's my base. It's pushing back in the geometry.
Turn the camera, give us on the other side of the normal.
I was going to. Now watch this. Let's go ahead and undo that. Let's go ahead and select this side over here. It'll make it even easier if I open up the settings dialog so that you can watch what's happening. Let's go ahead and right-click to set both these spinners back to 0. Now as I come in here and I start increasing my height, you can see how the height responds. Okay, it just makes it go larger from that point right there. And as I adjust the base itself, what's going to happen is it's going to push back, like I said a second ago, on the geometry. Simple enough?
Very good.
All right, so let's go ahead and cancel out of that. Cap. Ready, set, done.
Wow, right. That was awesome.
All cap does is, well, puts a cap on the border.
It's going to create a polygon that actually attaches all of the surrounding edges.
Exactly.
Or border edges, I should say.
So we no longer, if we think about it, we no longer have a hole there now.
No, we've capped it.
Exactly. So what happens if we come over here to polygon? Okay, that's all good. Everything looks great there. Come back here to border, and let's see. As soon as I deselect it and I try to reselect it, the border's gone.
No, we don't have a border anymore.
Of course not, because we've capped it and it went away.
There you go.
All right, so let's go ahead and right-click up here on the undo and come all the way back here to cap and undo. Ding, ding, ding. So there we go. All right, next thing I want to take a look at, chamfer. Chamfer's pretty cool. Let's go ahead, click, grab, and chamfer. All this is going to do is give us another looping set of edges all the way around that we can simply pull back like such.
There you go.
Okay? And if I want to chamfer again, so now we've added even more detail to this. Are these borders?
They are not.
Exactly. Remember, borders only surround holes in our geometry.
Right.
There is no holes.
These are
back
just
here.
more edges.
You got it. So let's go ahead and undo. All right, so let's see. Connect. Connect is really cool, but we need to have two borders selected that are connected by at least one polygon. So we've got one border selected. We'll come over here, control select the other border, and let's get rid of this guy. Let's go ahead and come over here to connect. I'm going to open up the settings so that we can see. Right now, edge segments is set to 1. We get one edge between a polygon that's held together by the two borders, and we get that all the way around. As I come in here and increase the edge segments, now 2, now 3, so on and so forth.
There you go.
Simple enough. Let's go ahead and cancel out of that. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's not cancel out of that just because this next section will look kind of cool. If I select all of these, click OK, and come down here to create shape from selection, we have all of these things selected. More than, of course, just borders. It doesn't matter. It's just everything that's selected. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's leave it on smooth. We've seen this before. I'll go ahead and click OK, and let's simply move this down, and I'm going to hit G, turn off the grid, and there you go.
We've got a spline-shaped frame of what we had selected.
Exactly, and this can be really cool later on when we get into surface subdivision. Well, actually, no, when we get into the surface modifier, we're going to show you some neat things that we can do with this as well.
Looking forward to it.
That's a little bit later. Okay, so finally, I'll just mention real quickly, we've got weight. we've got creasing or crease, and we've got edit triangulation. You've already seen these three. We spent a little bit of time talking about them in the last lesson where we looked at the edit edges rollout. So just refer back to that. It's the exact same thing.
All right.
So like I said, this is going to be a very quick lesson. We've already seen all the tools, so that concludes it. Thanks a lot, guys.